All right, shalom. I believe I'm on. Uh, all praises to the Most High. I'm here to share. I don't think I'm gonna be that long. I'll try to be quick. Um, let's get into it, right? So I got a few things to share. I didn't get a chance. I think a couple weeks ago, whatever, to speak on. I was on a what is it podcast? I Am Fit podcast with Gabar, and today it's gonna be like a response, a little bit. It says, "Are the daughters of Zion still under the curse of Isaiah 3?" And of course, our people still under the curse. All right. Then there was maybe 13 days ago, another week ago. It says, "Is Israel still under the Deuteronomy 28 curses?" And all those answers is yes, right? But I'm here today to speak about the solution. I didn't get to come on, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna come on here." All of a sudden, uh, other elders were speaking about a solution too, and I didn't get to speak on my solution. So I'm gonna share that with you guys. But first, I'm gonna read from the Songs of Solomon. I'm in the Forgotten Books of Eden. If you have that book, you can follow along. If you don't, um, the Psalms of Solomon 16. All right. And there's a question that's posed, and that's how you know our people are strong and we are the children. So it says the psalmist again expresses profound truth. All right. For if thou givest not strength, who can endure chastisement? All right. So I'm going to read that. Again, it says, if you giveth not power, if the Most High gives not strength, who can endure? That means um, outlast or go through chastisement, punishment, discipline with poverty on top, being poor, right? So I'm going to read this. It says, my Savior and Helper at all times saved me. I will give thanks unto you, O Most High, for you have helped me to my salvation, and have not counted me with sinners to my destruction. Remove not your mercy from me, O Most High, nor your memorial from my heart, your remembrance from my heart, my mind, until I die, right? Rule me, O God, O Most High, keeping me back from wicked sin. And from every wicked woman that causeth the simple to stumble, that caused the simple, the fool to fall, or the idiot, the simple to stumble, right? The sheep. And let not the beauty of a lawless woman beguile me, poison me, nor any one that is subject to unprofitable sin, anyone that is a slave to unprofitable sin. It says, establish the works of my hands before thee, right? And preserve my goings in the remembrance of you. Protect my tongue, my mouth, and my lips with words of truth. Anger and unreasoning wrath put far from me, remove from me. Murmuring and impatience in affliction, remove far from me, Most High. When and if I sin, you chasteneth me, that I may return unto you. So it says, when and if I do wrong, you chasten me, correct me, discipline me, that I may come back unto you. But with good will and cheerfulness support my soul. Help my soul. When you strengthenest my soul, what is given to me will be enough for me. You hear that? When you strengthen, make strong my soul, what is given to me will be enough, sufficient for me. And then it says, for if you giveth not strength, if you give not power, who can endure? Who can go through chastisement, discipline, correction with poverty? I want you to think about that. Who can go through that? It says, for if you give not strength, who can endure? Keep going through chastisement with poverty, having a wicked heart and going through the curses, right? It says, who can endure chastisement with poverty? Who can do it? His people can't do it without him, or anyone at that matter without him giving him strength to endure the chastisement also with the poverty. And that's the children of Israel. It says here, when a man is rebuked by means of his corruption, thy testing of him, Most High, is in his body, it says his flesh, and in the affliction, the tribulation of poverty, the trouble, the burden of poverty. And then it says, if the righteous endureth in all these trials, if the righteous goes through, makes it through, endures in all these trials, these tests, he shall receive mercy from the Most High, the highest. All right. So, again, for if the Most High give not strength to the Israelites, it says, who can endure chastisement with poverty? A lot of the other nations and people, right, that don't serve our God, they can't go through chastisement with poverty. As soon as they lose their job, go into slavery, whatever, they go commit suicide, they're going to jump off a building. They can't take chastisement, affliction, tribulation with poverty and having no funds and money. And see what I'm saying? The Most High gave us strength in our inward parts in our spirit to go through these things. And it's only when you're trusting in him and you have your eyes on him, right? And so, if you seek the kingdom, everything will be added. Keep him first, right? Because our God is a jealous God. Make him jealous, then he give you no strength to endure chastisement and poverty. You ain't gonna make it, right? But I like that question. For if you giveth not power, who can endure chastisement with poverty? Right? So we got to be thankful for the Most High. That is our strength and our rock. We'll quickly jump to Testament of Asher. Right? So some good things here that I think that we should look at. I don't want to be too long on this. Chapter 1, verse 3, it says, 2 ways have the Most High given to the sons of men, and 2 inclinations, right? Your left, your right. You see Hassan Campbell be looking like this. You look like that. You got a good angel. You got a bad angel. Some people believe that, right? So he says there's 2 ways have God given to the sons of men, two inclinations and 2 kinds of action and 2 modes of action and 2 issues. Therefore all things are by twos, one over against the other. For there are 2 ways of good and evil, and with these are the 2 inclinations in our breasts, discriminating them. Right? And therefore, if the soul take pleasure in the good inclination, all its actions are in righteousness, and if it sin, it straightway repenteth. All right. And for having his thoughts set upon righteousness and casting away wickedness, it straightway overthrow the evil and uprooteth the sin. Right? But if it incline, it listens to the evil inclination, all its actions are in wickedness, and it driveth away the good, and holds to the evil, and its rule is led by Satan. Even though it worketh what is good, he pervert it to evil. He makes it to be evil. He turns it to be evil. But whenever it beginneth to do good, he forces the issue of the action into evil for him, seeing that the treasure of the inclination is filled with an evil spirit. All right. I'm trying to, so I'm gonna jump down to about verse 17, and it says, um, another committeth adultery and fornication, and abstaineth from meats, and when he fasteth, he doeth evil, and by the power of his wealth overwhelmeth many, and notwithstanding his excessive wickedness, he doeth the commandment. This too have a twofold aspect, but the whole thing is evil. It says, such men are hares, clean like those that divide the hoof, but in very deed are unclean. Okay. For the Most High in the tables of the commandments have so declared. Right? You got to be hot or cold. You can't have 2 faces. So Asher talks about wearing a mask, a disguise. And sometimes you can't see that person truly are because they're wearing the disguise. But we don't supposed to wear a disguise. We're supposed to be hot or cold. If you're not hot or cold, he's going to spew you out of his mouth. Right? But yeah, such men are hares, clean like those that divide the hoof, but in the very deed are unclean. They're like swine. Right? All right. Verse 20 says, but do not ye, my children, wear 2 faces, like unto them, of goodness and of wickedness. You can't be both, but cleave unto goodness only. For the Most High have his living, it says habitation there, and men desire it. All right. It says, cleave unto goodness. Only the Most High have his living there, and men want it. But from wickedness flee away, destroying the evil inclination, the evil thought or mindset by your good works. For they that are double-faced serve not the Most High, but their own lusts, desires, so that they may please Satan, and men like unto themselves that serve Satan. All right. For good men, even they that are of single face, though they be thought by them that are double-faced to sin, to do wrong, are just, they are righteous before God. All right. For many in killing the wicked do two works, of good and evil. But the whole thing is good, because he have uprooted, he have removed and destroyed that which is evil. And so I'm going to leave it like that. And I hope y'all can grasp what I'm laying down there. Read it again or listen to this again. Testament of Asher, I read in chapter 1, right? It's a Jekyll and Hyde thing, right? Or, like it's saying, two faces. We are not to be bipolar, right? You should walk the straight way, right? So I hope you understand. Don't listen to the wrong inclination. The wrong spirit might jump into you. You know what Peter, the Christ, Yasha said to Peter, you have a devil, right? So you got to be able to watch out for the fiery darts of Hasatan. And that's what I'm going to talk about in here, in the spirit of anger, revisiting it. And the first time I did it, only on the men's side. I'm going to try to touch on the women's side, right? So we're going to, just give me a little second. So we're going to talk about the spirit of anger in the testament of Dan. And we have to understand the enemy's fiery darts, right? It's a spiritual thing, right? We know we got a heart condition, and we're under the laws of the Most High, right? Because he have given no man license to sin. And sin is the transgression of the law, right? And he said, if you love me, keep my commandments, right? Which bring forth life. But there's a way that seems right to a man, and that way leads to death. Before I lose my train of thought, the scripture says in Sirach that if a woman maintains her husband, she'll be angry. So that's something to think about when we're talking about this spirit of anger. All right. So um, let's see. Wait a minute. So read this first. I think you can see it. Yeah. Hopefully you can see it. If not, I don't think that even I can see it. Yeah, I can't see it. But I'm going to read it. It says, anger is an intense emotion that occurs when something goes wrong or someone wrongs you. It is characterized by feelings of stress, frustration, and irritation. Physiologically, anger leads to angry surges, increased heart rate, blood flow, and muscle tension. That's their definition, right? Okay. And so now, hopefully y'all can see this. Um, James 1:20, right? James 1:20, it says, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that the Most High desires, right? So James 1:19, it says, my beloved brothers, understand this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. That's part of the answer. And I'm going to say this out my mouth. A soft answer turns away wrath. Oh, honey, that's fine. Right? Sometimes you have to use that and be wise. Those that are married understand that. So it says, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read it. It says, for man's anger does not bring about the righteousness that God desires. It doesn't. Therefore, get rid of all moral filth and every expression of evil, and humbly, not boastfully, but humbly, accept the word planted in you, which can save your souls. You better have the word planted in you, which can save your souls. Right? We got some cross references here. It says, a patient man has great understanding, but a wicked-tempered man, hot-headed man, promotes folly. Ephesians, be angry, yet do not sin. Be angry, sin not. Do not let the sun set upon your anger, and do not give the devil a foothold. Don't give place to the devil. A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger calms disputes. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger settles in the lap of a fool, in the bosom of a fool. Right? He who is slow to anger is better than a warrior, and he who controls his temper is greater than one who captures a city. Right? Colossians 3:8. But now you must put aside all such things as these: anger, rage, malice, slander, and filthy language from your lips, from your mouth. Mm-hmm. Romans 12:19. Do not avenge yourselves, beloved, but leave room for the Most High's anger. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Most High. Proverbs 29:11. A fool vents, he tells all his anger. He expresses all his anger. But a wise man holds it back, holds back his temper. 1 Peter 2:1. Rid yourselves, therefore, of all malice, deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and slander. Proverbs 25:28. Like a city whose walls are broken down is a man who does not control his temper. Right? This is some of the medicine. 1 Timothy 2:8. Therefore, I want the men everywhere to pray, lifting up holy hands without anger or decision. Right? So those are good. But we got to remember, human anger does not produce the righteousness God plans for or desires. King James, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High. right? Young's literal translation: for the wrath of a man, the righteousness of God doeth not work. For man's anger works not the justice of God. That's right. Right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Anger in men and women. Wanted to focus more so on the women to respond to what Elder Gabar was speaking on. And it was, are the daughters of Zion still under the curses of Isaiah 3, in which they are? You know. But this one is a universal thing, right? That we all dealing with rage, anger, right? We're dealing with this. And this spirit takes over. But like I said, the Bible states that for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God or the justice of God. And we shouldn't take it in our own hands. So, let's read. Wait, I gotta read one more. Give me a second. This book is it's tore up. That's how bad I be in these books, man. Clement. I like Clement. Clement 3:19. It says, in a word, envy and strife have overturned whole cities and rooted out great nations from off the earth. All right. Whole cities or great cities. All right. Through envy or emulation. Right. So that's all I wanted to share. So, and jealousy, right? So we got to know about this fiery dart. All right, so here we're going to start. Since I'm in Dan, I might as well read 6. For the spirit of jealousy the spirit of jealousy and vainglory said to me. So the spirit came up to him and said to him, it's probably on his left or right shoulder, right? Evil inclination said to him, which was a Satan, you yourself art his son. And one of the spirits of Satan stirred me up. It puffed him up, saying, take this sword, Dan, and with it slay Joseph, kill him. So shall your father love you when he is dead. Right? Now this is the spirit of anger that persuaded me to crush Joseph, kill Joseph as a leopard crusheth a kid, kills a kid. All right. I'm going to jump down to 2. And it's Dan speaking. Older, almost, he's dying. It says, and now, my children, behold, I am dying. And I tell you of a truth, that unless you keep yourselves from the spirit of lying and of anger. So he was talking to his children, the Danites, and his brothers, right? He's talking to the 12, each tribe, and then he's talking to his children that will come through him. So keeping yourselves from the spirit of lying. You got to stop lying and of anger, and love truth and long suffering ye shall perish. So let me read it again. It says, I tell you of a truth. He said, I'm telling you the truth, that unless you keep yourselves from the spirit of lying and of anger and love truth and long suffering, ye shall perish. You need to love truth and long suffering, enduring, patience. If you don't, it says, ye shall perish. Israel. For anger is blindness. All right? For anger is blindness. It does not suffer one to see the face of any man with truth. Women, we're going to talk about them. It says, for anger and blindness does not allow one to see the face of any man with truth. Have you noticed that, brothers? I'm talking to the young brothers. There is blindness in anger, my children, and no angry man or woman, because we're going, right, seeth the face with truth. First of all, they don't want to see the face of truth. They don't want to take accountability. They want to be upset, right? 3. For though it be a father, it could be a father speaking to you, young lady, or a mother, your own mother, young lady. It says he or she behaved towards them as enemies. Though it be a brother, or it be your brother, young lady, or man, he knoweth him not, she knows him not. She don't recognize him. Though it be a prophet of the Most High, she disobeyeth him. All right. You understand? Though a righteous man or woman, she or he regardeth him not. She don't even care what rank, or that he's a prophet, that he's a teacher, that he's your brother, your sister, your mother, your father. They don't care. They can't see because they're blinded by anger, right? Rage. It says, though a friend, she doeth not acknowledge him. Even if it's a friend, someone that's helpful towards them, they don't acknowledge them, recognize them in that state of anger. For the spirit of anger surrounds him or her with the net. See, the spirit of anger will surround her with the net of deceit, the trap of lies, and blindeth, darken his eyes or her vision, and through lying darkeneth his or her mind, and giveth her its own peculiar vision. All men ain't ish. See what I'm saying? They all wicked. Same thing with a man. All women are wicked. You see what I'm saying? So, it says spirit of deceit in the notes, nets of luxury, a trap of luxury. All right. And blindness. Remember, it says a gift destroyeth the heart. Right. So let me go back. For the spirit of anger surrounds her or him with the net of deceit, with traps of deceit, lies, or luxuries, and blindeth his eye with gifts, and blindeth his or her eyes, and through lying darkeneth his mind, and giveth him its own peculiar vision. So the spirit of anger will lie to you, and blind you, and give you its vision, and you're only on one path to destroy. Right? Turn into that angry one-eyed monster. Right? One direction, one way. Turn into the Terminator. It says, and wherewith it surrounds its eyes, or I'm sorry, it encompasses his eyes or her eyes with hatred. It's going to fill your eyes with hatred of heart, hatred of the mind, of the spirit, so as to be envious of his brother or sister. She could be, why is she getting married? I'm not getting married. You know, oh, she got a good man. I don't have that, or she got a car. All of that. The women, and the men do. For anger is an evil thing, my children, for it troubleth even the soul itself. For anger is an evil thing, my children, for it becomes a soul to the soul itself. Right? It takes over. Like Agent Smith in the Matrix. It take you over. Right? And it surrounds him with its own eye. Right? With hatred. With hatred of heart, it giveth him its own, or her its own heart. A hostile heart, so as to be envious of his or her brother or her sister. Right? Okay. 2. Just chapter 3, verse 2. And the body of the angry man or woman, it maketh its own. See? It takes the control. And over his soul, or her soul, it getteth the mastery, the control. And it bestows upon the body, it gives the body power that it may work all iniquity, that it will do all sin, evil, right? Mm-hmm. And when the body does all these things, the soul justifies what is done. It makes right what is done, since it seeth not aright. It thinks everything that they do is right, and you're wrong, right? Therefore, he that is wrathful, um, if he or she be a mighty, it says man, mighty woman, think about it, and have a threefold power in his anger or her anger. This is the threefold power. One, by the help of his or her servants. Who could be her servants? The government that she's going to use against you, her family, her friends. Okay? So she gets a threefold power. It says one by the help of her servants or his servants, right? And a second by, it says his, but her wealth. I'm going to use that. By her wealth. What do you mean her money? Well, she might have money. Now she can pay a lawyer. She can do different things by money, right? We know money is the root of all evil, but money is also a defense. But she can use her wealth in anger against you, whereby he or she persuadeth and overcometh wrongfully. She gets the victory wrongfully by giving people gifts to do things for her or him, right? With money. And thirdly, having his own natural power, he worketh thereby the evil. All right, or she works it by the evil. And though the wrathful man be weak, let's just say she's the weaker vessel, she be weak, Yet have he or she a power twofold of that which is by nature. She becomes very strong by the spirit of anger. She'll jump up and get strong on you. It says, for wrath ever could always abide of such and lawfulness. Wrath, anger always abides such in lawlessness. This spirit goeth always with lying. Is connected with lying. Right? So you can lie on a person. This person did this to me and it never happened. And believe the lie. So anyway, this spirit goes always with lying at the right hand of Satan. Anger and lying are at the right hand power of Satan. That with cruelty and lying, his works may be accomplished. All right. So with cruelty and lying, his works be accomplished. All right. All right. So there's some notes there. If you have the Petasuga Pigraphia uh, by R.H. Charles, go to Testament of Dan. You can read the notes. Like it says, having the natural power of his body and of his own agency working, the passion of anger springeth up in him with twofold power. It gives him strength. All right. But yeah, anger and lying are at the right hand of Satan. With cruelty and lying, his works may be complete. Understand ye therefore the power of wrath. You got to understand the power of anger. This is a fiery dart of Satan, and he's using it against men and women to fight each other, to kill each other. And that's really what I want to talk about. When these scenarios happen to you young brothers, you better be careful and watch what you say, and don't let the spirit of anger move you. It can move you to your own destruction. It can move you to kill someone. So you have to be careful. So we're going to read it. Understand ye therefore, chapter 4, verse 1. Understand ye, said Dan, the power of wrath, the power of anger, Israel, that it is vain. It says that it's useless, but in the note, it says it's a destroyer. It kills. All right. For it first of all giveth provocation by word, by what you say. You know, I can't think of a scenario right now. Oh, let me see your phone. Oh, I'm not gonna let you see my phone. Or whatever. So, or I'm not gonna give you the passcode for. First of all, it giveth provocation by word, like it wants you to um, provoke, cause to anger, right? Um, you know, provocation by word. Then by deeds, it strengthened her who is angry, or him who is angry. Then it's by your deeds, your action. It strengthened him or her who is angry, and with sharp losses disturbeth his mind, and so stirreth up with great anger his soul, his spirit. So let me look at the note there. So, vain, it reads a destroyer. Giveth provocation, it is provoked. It is provoked by word, by what you say. You gotta watch what you say. We speak life or death, right? Then by actions, right? I'm gonna get my brother. I'm gonna get my brother to get you. I'm gonna jump you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna call the court on you. I'm gonna call CPS. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Then by works, it strengthened him who, or her who is angry by works. Let me see if I can get that. Embitter or enticeth him who is angry, and with sharp losses disturbeth his mind, makes the person crazy, and so stirreth up with great wrath his soul. Right? It disturbeth his mind. All right. Um, Therefore, when anyone speaketh against you, be not ye moved to anger. That's what Dan's saying. When somebody's speaking something against you, oh, I'm gonna call the courts, I'm gonna call the cops, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna do this. He said, don't be moved to anger. See? And if any man praises you as a holy man, be not uplifted. Don't be puffed up. It says, be not moved either to being happy or disgust. You know, being rejoicing or to be uh, angry. Right? For first it pleases the hearing. So he's saying when you take it in these words, first it pleases the hearing. Like you want to hear the person say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." It's like what I think Kanye said. I always use him. Um, what did he say? He said, "I wish, you know what? I wish a nigga would, you know." So some people, I wish you would do that. Say it. I dare you to say it. You bet not. I bet you won't. You ain't gonna do that, right? So you daring them. So you're hearing that provocation. Um, you want to hear that. Like, I wish Karen would say that. I'll slap. What? Say it. Say it one more again. Say it one more time. Like Pinky. But anyway, it says, for first it pleases the hearing, and so maketh the mind keen to perceive the grounds of provocation. It'll make you be able to sense the grounds, discern the grounds of provocation, someone daring you, trying you. And then being enraged, he thinketh that he is justly angry. She thinks that she's justly right. Right? And then, then that's when the arguing, the fighting coming. But anyway, it says, if you fall into any loss or ruin, my children, be not afflicted. Don't be in pain if you lose something. Be in tribulation or burden, in trouble when you lose something, right? If you fall into any loss, your phone stopped working, your TV don't work no more. It's something materialistic. It says, be not afflicted, right? So it says, for this very spirit maketh a man desire that which is perishable, that which is dies. You desire that which is perishable in order that he may be enraged through the affliction. Um, your spirit is upset, but let's just say you got in the spirit of anger and you broke your computer screen, you broke your phone. Now you want it back after you come to your senses. You like, dang, I lost my, or you get more upset because you got enraged and you became a destroyer and you broke that um, thing that you desired or whoever gave to you or whatever, or a simple car accident or somebody cut you off, road rage, different things like that. It says, be not afflicted, don't be troubled, for this very spirit maketh a man anger to desire that which is perishable, that which is gone or dying, in order that he may be enraged through the affliction, whatever he lost. And if ye suffer loss voluntarily or involuntarily, freely or unfreely, be not vexed. Don't be troubled. For from vexation ariseth anger. With lying, however, a twofold mischief is wrath. With lying. And they help one another. It says they assist one another in order to disturb the heart. They're going to work together to disturb the mind. And when the soul is continually disturbed, it says the Most High leaves from it, that soul, and Satan rules over it, right? And Satan rules it, that soul, takes full control. So the thing said, it pleases the hearing. So that means the thing said giveth provocation. The grounds for provocation, right? This spirit deceives in order to irritate. It fools and it lies to you and it tricks you and it makes you upset to get you irritated, frustrated, that you lose your mind. The spirit of error desired to do this thing and to accomplish ruin, to accomplish disaster, right? Well, being enraged through affliction or longing, desiring for something. And if ye suffer loss voluntarily or involuntarily, be not troubled. From vexation arises anger, wrath, the unrighteous wrath of the Most High. With lying, however, a twofold mischief is wrath with lying, anger with lying. Women usually do anger with lying. Not saying men don't, I'm just saying anybody can do it, but we should be talking about these women so the young man can watch out and don't get pulled left to the right. That's what I was going to speak on, and I was going to speak that way, but it's good for both when it's just revisiting this. It says, and they assist one another in order to disturb the mind or the soul, the spirit. And when the soul is continually disturbed, troubled with so much pain, so much affliction, so much trouble, so much provocation, um, then it's going to start lashing out. Because remember, it gives you peculiar vision. Nobody's on your side. Well, somebody's on your side. Legion, the demons, and Satan. Beliar is on your side. Mastema, Samael is on your side. But that's the wrong. That's not the right wrath, right? The scripture says, "Be angry and sin not." See, but uh, anger does not produce the righteousness that the Most High desires, right? So, um, so again, it says here, in order to disturb the mind, and when the soul is continually disturbed in your mind, the Most High leaves from it, right? The Holy Spirit leaves from you. Really, the Ruach. You could look at that in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. I think it's verse 8, I'm just guessing. And Beliar ruleth over it, right? So Satan rules over you, takes control. And that's when the war happens, right? And so you can get into something, right? A little spat or fight. And this usually happens when you're in the spirit of anger. You know, you lash out. You know, this is the thing. If you really love somebody, you ain't going to hurt them. Right? So pick up that knife out of nowhere and you listen to that demon in anger and you cut somebody, and then you come to your senses out of that split second, and now you got to drive them to the hospital and tell them I love you and hold on to wherever you cut and oh, I'm sorry, and all of that, you see. Or you kill them. out of anger. And now you in jail. Your whole life is gone. Their life is gone. Their parents is mad and in anger now. See, the spirit of anger, it'll grow, right? Hate spread faster than love. Anyway, that's why some of these camps and some of these places are filled with people. Why? Because hate. Anyway, um, chapter 5, verse 1. Observe, therefore, my children. So this is Dan talking again. The commandments of the Most High. You got to observe the laws of the Most High and keep his laws. That's what he said. Depart from wrath. Depart from anger. Flee from anger. And hate lying, that the Most High may live among you, and Beliar may flee from you. See? Speak truth, each one with his neighbor. This is what you got to do. So shall you not fall into anger and confusion, but ye shall be in peace, having the God of peace, the Most High of peace, so shall no war prevail over you, right? If you stay steadfast in the fruits of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit are what fights all of these off, right? And you not wanting to be a fool, right? Right? And you wanting to follow the instructions of the Most High, because the instructions of the Most High is life. Anything outside of that is death, right? Yeah. And so, I was just sharing that. It's a lot more that can be said on this. I wanted to do it, and I just did it out quickly. But there should be examples doing more of the provocation. Man ain't, keep taking hits, then he lash out in anger. See, that ain't no good. So women got to watch out for the provocation, their mouth, right? So do men, what they saying, but I'm just saying, if I were to go back through this and actually go through it, um, showing where young men don't fall for say how to push buttons and all of that, but you got to remember, a soft answer turns away wrath, even for the woman that's talking to the man and he's shouting, and well, say that soft answer so you could turn away the wrath of your husband or whoever, right? um, but he's supposed to love you like Christ loved the church. And like it says, would you beat on your own body? No. So why would you beat on your wife or whoever? That's crazy. That's insane. But like it says, that thing which is perishable, um, it says that you're gonna want it back. So you're gonna suffer some loss, and then it's gonna make you angry, and then you might burst in an outrage like these Karens and things. You know, so you better be careful of that. Um, if you suffer loss voluntarily, or you suffer loss involuntarily, like Dan said, do not be angry. Whether you go to court and you lose the case, and the guy wins or the woman wins, you can't be upset where you're gonna go and kill them, and and all of this other crazy stuff. Vengeance is the Most High's. Give place to the Most High to take vengeance on those that are wicked and evil. You know, um, when we all have like that. There's a righteous anger, like David said, I hate my enemies with a perfect hatred. There's a lot of different scriptures, on that. But you have to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, and let the Most High uh, take care of those that are coming against you, because He'll be your enemy to your enemy if you follow what He's saying. But if you don't, He'll become an enemy to you. So you want the Most High on your side. You want to be filled with the Ruach. So the spirit of Belial, Satan, can flee, because he can't dwell in a temple that's, honoring the Most High, that's fasting and praying, that's eating the right things, so you can have a good connection with the Most High. Right? You want to keep your Wi-Fi or your bars, like on your phone, up, so you have a good signal with the Most High. So when you call on Him, He'll come and fight your battles. So it don't matter if this person, um, in the spirit of anger, and they have money, they can't even be victorious over you, right? Scripture says mammon ain't gonna prevail. People who have money, right, or natural strength, or you know. So there's certain things, in these scriptures that you got to understand. But Satan's using this fiery dart to kill a lot of our brothers and sisters. He's killing us with this fiery dart. I wanted to have some videos and things like that, and people get angry, and then after they be like, "Oh, that was a foolish thing I done. I broke my windshield," or I'm still with him, but I broke his phone. He needs his phone, or I called the job and got him fired, or I put him in jail. Now my kids I got the man. See, anger causes a lot of problems. It causes a lot more problems for yourself in the end if you don't know how to uh, resolve your conflict. And there's more spirits that we have to fight and attack. And hopefully, y'all, this was something that you can understand. But this with lying is even worse. It says something like, this spirit, wrath, goes always with lying at the right hand of Satan, right? With cruelty and lying, his works are accomplished. And it says, understand ye therefore the power of wrath, that it is vain, it's useless. And the power of wrath is a destroyer, right? The only righteous anger is God's wrath. And you see, when He get angry, He destroy things and get it out the way, because He don't like to look upon sin. He get it out the way. We're the same way, right? We know that this person is a pedophile, but we got to live with him because we got to show mercy and grace. The Most High is giving him mercy and grace until He judge it. You ain't the judge, and you don't supposed to take it in your own hands, right? But there's times, that He'll put the spirit on you to get rid of somebody, like we read in the Testament of Asher. And the complete work is good. You got rid of the wicked. You uprooted him. But, you know, um, we have to be mindful, because we do have the spirit of our Father, how He gets wrathful and angry. But we shouldn't be wolves of our own homes, discouraging our children from wanting to be around us, being angry, um, or our wives being angry at us, and all of that. It, Sometimes the Most High creates strife with brothers and sisters, or husband to separate, because he needs them by themselves to deal with them. But I like what Dan said. He said, "Observe therefore, my children, the commandments of the Most High, and keep his law. Depart from wrath and hate lying, that the Most High may dwell." See, the Most High Spirit may live among you, and Beliar, his spirit, may flee from you. Speak truth, each one to his neighbor. So shall you not fall into anger and confusion. Babel. But ye shall be in peace. Shalom, having the Most High of peace. So shall no war win against you. You can defeat the fiery dart by keeping his law, statute, commandments. Right? So, don't be over there talking about I wish a nigga would and keep popping off in the face with all that wicked attitude. That's the wrong spirit. It can get you killed. You tell me you're going to get your brother, get this and that. I'm like, okay, all right. You bring him here, get both of you done. That's the way the evil inclination might come and be like, you know what? I'll get rid of her and all of them. See, and a lot of people have listened to that evil inclination. You don't want to do that. You find out somebody's doing something on the side or something, you better pray about it, divorce, do something, separate, do something. Like it says, to be in a house with a wicked woman, rather be on a rooftop, right? And so he's letting you know, create some distance. But what happened if they follow you, which they do, right? You bet not react the wrong way. You better be in prayer. You better be covered, because if you don't, you're gonna obey the Hasatan. You're gonna be looking for your weapon or whatever's right next to you, and that's wrong. How many times have a parent done this wrong? Um, the kids say something wrong, which kids do, and then they pick up something that's right there. It could be something big, crazy, don't even matter, and they knocking them over the head. And then after they do it, they crying, "Oh, what happened? I didn't mean to do that." The spirit of Hasatan jumped on you, and you can't get that back. That's why it talks about I'm gonna read it one more time. It says um let me see where is it? It's in chapter 4 verse 5. If ye shall fall into any loss or ruin, my children, be not afflicted, for this very spirit maketh a man desire that which is perishable, right? That which is perishable, that can die, let's say, in order that he may be enraged through the affliction after you lose something. But you just beat the person over the head. Now you crying that they did? Oh, they did. Or you just broke your TV. Now you mad that your TV don't work? That's how foolish this people are. The spirit uh, uh, of anger, wrath gets you, right? And then it gives you its own peculiar vision. It only sees one thing, right? When you see somebody in a fight and then they hit somebody, then the other person came and hit them, and they was working on that one person, and then they got hit, and then now they start working on the other person, and they forgot who they was fighting. They was fighting that person, but they're stuck. Their vision is right there. You hit me. It could have been his friend on accident, but boom, and then now they rambling and scrambling. He was trying to help you, but now you coming to kill him. It turns you into a psycho, and so you gotta be mindful, gotta be careful of that. And then the hatred of heart, to be envious of your sister, your brother. Um, it creates blindness. I love that one when it says, for though if it be father or mother, he behave towards them as an enemies, or she does, though it be a brother, she knoweth him not. Though it be a prophet of the Most High, she disobeyeth him. Though a righteous man, she regardeth him not. Though a friend, she doeth not acknowledge him, or he. For the spirit of anger surrounds him with the net, the trap of deceit, lies, luxuries, and blindeth his eyes, and through lying darkeneth his mind, and giveth him its own peculiar vision, and surrounds it his eyes with hatred of heart of the spirit, so as to be envious of his brother or sister. For anger is an evil thing, my children, for it troubleth even the soul itself. It might not even allow you to sleep. For anger is an evil thing, my children, for it becomes a soul to the soul itself. It takes over, you know? And so you don't want to operate in the spirit of anger. And there's a lot of scriptures. You go on Google KJ anger in order. Anger lies in the in the bosom of a fool. If you're not a fool, don't be quick to anger. And back to one of them answers I was saying, James 19, my beloved brothers or sisters, understand this. Everyone should be quick to listen. You better shemai. You better be quick to hear and slow to speak. Be slow to talk or to express. Women be in their emotions and feelings, they be quick to speak. Slow to anger. Don't be fast to be angry and frustrated. For man's or woman's anger does not bring about the righteousness that the Most High desires. It doesn't do his will. It does Satan's will. Therefore, get rid of all, right? Any appearance of evil, and humbly, right? Lower yourself, accept the word planted in you. You better have word planted in you, which can save your souls. The word can save your soul from destroying someone in a quick, moment of anger. So I pray, it's edifying. I could have went through videos showing women being angry, being provoked or provoking, because they do a lot of, and they provoke, right? Um, and men as well. So all I'm saying is this spirit is destroying families. And we got to wake up. We got to understand that this is a fiery dart. Um, the heart is more desperate and wicked. Who can know it? We know the Most High. So if there's a problem in your heart, get it fixed. Right? Get the spirit of wrath and anger and lying out of your members. And you do that by keeping the law, statutes, commandments, fasting and praying, being amongst brothers and sisters, and sharing the word and studying the word. Right? Faith comes by hearing. Don't just be a hearer, be a doer. But Shabbat Shalom. I hope you enjoyed this. Blessings.